Welcome, weary traveler. I am probably Mothman. You are hopefully you. And this is Valheim. It is quite late, and my intent is to spend a little bit of time here laying out Stonegate. Stonegate being the name that I have given to this little spot here by the sacrificial stones that I am intending to turn into a portal hub, which I am referring to as a Hall of Doors. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it's what I like to call them, so that's what I'm gonna do. Come along and vibe with me as I build. Said I was going to think about what I wanted to do here. Guess what I didn't do? Alright. The boar is casually attacking the workbenches. Has to stop. Yeah, we're just going to make a build on this. Well, I say that, and I know there are people that build, like, whole cities. Like, one large building is perhaps not a mega build, but... I don't know, it's still large for me. Even if it is average large. Art thou sure? Alright, so if we measure those, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and that's 2 meters hop, so it's 14 meters back. 6 out. 7 segments mean that if I do it in segments of 2, I will get a middle segment. Do odd numbers. We're going to be working with a little less room inside, admittedly. What if... that's 3, so let's do 2 here. I'm in favor of making this excessively large. Primarily because that gives me room to expand. Not sure where that tree came from. Not thrilled about how close it got to my head. Secret building. Oh, we are going to have more wood than we know what to do with. Undoubtedly. That's good, though, because I will eventually know what to do with it, and I will be very glad to have whatever exorbitant amount I have. I'm just gonna get as many as I can there. Seven's a good number. Actually, give me just a moment. I'm gonna pause for a second and adjust something on my desk here. There we go. That wasn't terribly long. I won't worry about editing it out. And if it seems a little awkwardly long, snip, snip, and out it goes. Full dark night thing is... not what we're going to deal with. Before we head out, make use of the amenities. There, if I have more, yes I do. Might be a rainy day in the Black Forest today. Luckily, we're working in the meadows. Now, as I so recall, we had a raid not but a few minutes ago, in game at least. So my hope is that we have a little bit of peace as we're working here. We have it, and if we don't, we'll have loot. Now, admittedly, I think it's fine for me to cheat a bit and do this. That is a lot more wood than I thought it was. Still debating on how far back I want that to run. So that's 4, 6. So if I wanted to go back the same distance, it would need to be that. Times a 5. You know what? We are just going to try and make this work. I don't know if it's enough room. If it's not, we'll just deal. It's not like I can't make another portal hub elsewhere if I really need to, or it's not like I can't expand this one. But we are going to... we're going to maybe give ourselves a little bit of some of that dwarf fortress symmetry, maybe. Just do some goofy designs with some lions. Alright, so that one pops 2 back. So let's do 3 back, and then maybe we'll run it that way. Now, theoretically, even though it will be more shallow back here, it should still have an okay amount of height. So if we start matching this side, mushrooms, when life gives you edible mushrooms, eat them. But like, triple fucking check first that you have edible mushrooms. Because life's tricky that way sometimes, and mushrooms are trickier. One, 2, 3. And 3. Oh, this will be a grand amount of space inside, though. Okay, that'll be fine. Maybe... we'll just go in excess if we need to go in excess. I think if you're going to get lost in building something like large and excessive, especially if you're just doing it to kind of like scratch the itch while you're trying to focus on smaller builds or, you know, more compact building, making something that you're going to get a lot of use out of over a lot of time into like the mega build or just the, you know, the big attention-oriented build. I think that's the way to go instead of like trying to, like say, make one base nicer than all the others, because I don't know, if it's something where you are moving around a lot and you're not, it's only 2 back. Does that only go 1 out or does it go 2 out? It goes 2 out. Okay, that's gonna cut this way a little bit. Classically, I have started another topic. Completely forgotten what I was going on about. If you're trying to, like, do multiple builds like I'm doing, and you want to make sure you're not, like, staying in one place overly long, it can get tricky to make a really nice base, because then you want to stay there forever, which, you know, makes sense. If you put a lot of time into something, you know, you want to appreciate it. So I'm hoping that, because that's the logic I'm following, that, like, since I'm going to use this a fair bit, but it's not like a home, it means that I can get sort of some of that itch scratched of, you know, building something big that, I don't know, at least hopefully looks nice. We'll see how the execution goes, but, you know, building that here and letting it be something that I pass through enough to see and appreciate, but isn't somewhere that I need to worry about making into, like, a permanent base. I think that kicks back 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then kicks back in 2. Oh, what? You just trap in the rain? I am legitimately so confused about where those two dudes came from. Oh, there's runes down here. See what this one says. This land is hard and wild, but we who are brought here are harder still. Take comfort, traveler, in the gifts before you, the good wood and stone, the fruits and flowers of the forest. Look also to the wild boar who roam these lands. They fear fire in the hand of man, but can be taught to obey it. Go quietly to them, and let them eat of your stock. Roots of the ground are their pleasure. I should probably make use of this wood pile. Start from this end. That's fine. Get into and then arcs back some. Was back at least 3, I think. So back 3, and then it was going to start cutting over. This is heckin' large. That will traditionally be a problem. No workbench, no building. That was actually going to continue down. Oh, that's going to cause a funny little chain reaction down the line. By funny, I mean mildly terrifying. So, if these meet up, we're good. And if they don't, we need to be very, very scared. Of what? I don't know. But just terror and panic. I mean, we knew those weren't going to line up, like, vertically, but, you know, just to be a cryptid of my word, I'll, you know, tiny scream. Ah! There we go. Little scrim. Little tiny scrim. Alright, so that lines up. We've got a pretty big area that we need to raise. But we now also have it lined out exactly where we need to raise it to. He said, realizing that he changed the height on some of these. Son of Sasquatch. Alright. Aim to have these. Can we snap that down so it's... Ah, yes we can. Okay. I don't know which this is, actually. And again, I don't know how much it entirely matters, but... Nothing like the meadows right after a rainstorm. Alright, so if these are lined up properly, let's Okay. Maybe I can't do that everywhere? Yeah, that looks like it's a little bit about the right spot. Alright, so bearing that in mind. Alright, who's ready for the fall damage portion of our show? Oh, that's going to happen a lot. Okay, gotcha. Home dog, gotcha. Not a fan of that, are you? Betcha I can do it faster than you can break. Almost, though. Confused you for a second. Aha, gotcha. Alright, so any gap bigger than 2 is going to fight me a little bit on this, so over here I should go up every 2. But maybe I can make use of that. It's taking every... I was gonna say it's taking every bone in my body to not, like, jump off and shatter every bone in my body, but... gravity and my own hands took care of that for me. Now, how much stone are we sitting on? I don't think we're sitting on a lot. I know we have some over at the gate, but I think we might have to fetch some stone at some point. I suppose I could always set up that great orc farm, though that's... I'll think about if I want to do that. I think that's maybe a little bit more work than I want to throw in on the front end just to get some stone. I'm enjoying building right now, so that's... Don't run into first lamp. Okay. Absolutely going to require more core wood than I have if I wanted to ring this whole thing, but my hope is that I don't need to, and that I can just... are lined up, so I can... I'm not going to call it cheat, but I am going to call it creatively persuading Valheim's support system. Alright, speaking of, Valheim seems to like it every other spot, so we are going to aim for that. We're probably going to want to clear a bunch of the trees within a little bit of a radius of this. I wonder. This is going to be dumb as heck if it works. But I'm just going to throw these onto the ground. That boar's probably hungry. Yeah, we'll probably lock onto them eventually when it's going in to wreck my workbenches. And it might tame itself. mayhaps that is... Mayhaps that is the next boar that shall accompany us. May their fate be ever kinder than Boromir's. I say that, I really hope they don't aggro onto me in like 2 minutes and force me to fight them to the death. Actually, you know, if I... could just... We are actually going to aggro the boar. I don't know where they went, but we're going to try and aggro them. Hello. Come with me, and you'll see a world of pure imagination. Wow, that is more imagination than I thought. You need imagination to see the ground. Alright, beautiful. Welcome to... think I got them? Yes, okay. It's the equivalent, Valheim equivalent of the Pokeball shake, trying to see through the mist to see if the boar is actually in the cage. We're going to need to knock this down. Should have enough fine wood for a little bit of decoration in here. Or for another project that has been admittedly sitting at the corner of my mind, but we'll get to that later. If I'm not wrong, none of this stuff should despawn because we're very close to all of these workbenches. Oh, I'm thinking I may want to put some of this resin in here. And we may need to cram some stuff in the miscellaneous cart. That's okay, that's why we have it. Lovely. That it will be easier to build if we're not trying to see through piles and piles and piles of wood. I'm going to choose to do the smart thing and not try to dance at the edge of a workbench and just make another workbench. It is not like I'm shy on wood at the moment. Lovely. This is going much better than I thought it would, though. That the front is an even number of pieces. That's some timing. Oh, I know that the top's in the right position, so just keep going. Oh, that might be touching the trees and getting some bonus support. That is actually pretty heckin' useful right now. Why? Oh, that seems to be in the right spot. That's lined up. Okay. We need to take a moment now and just kind of clear out this corner. We need to establish a new Masons Guild. I hope this boar will be well acquainted with wood tools and masonry tools. One hopes the mushrooms will impart this knowledge. That's traditionally less than ideal. Oh, they're gonna be gunning for that boar, huh? Oh, that's a bad time to lose rested. Huh. Well, that was somewhat fated. On a little bit of relief from the foul smell, then I will start hucking my spear at some of these arrows. Sleepy bastards. Those are not going to protect me worth a damn. Is a wall worth consideration? Smell is gone. Lovely. One more health tick. What do we got? 66? Okay. Oh, that's good. Yikes. Okay. Well, turns out if you get shot a lot in the face, you die. I saw Hugin show up. Is that my first death in this world? Well, that's going to be annoying as heck because they are going to make an ordeal of dying. Do we have food? We have some. That should be sufficient for some of our needs. Yeah, we're gonna need to clear them out. So let's... Outright, this is not going to be enough to do much. On how quickly they start taking shots at me. I don't know how many of them are still here, or if they despawn. At least a few of them are still here. This is down. Any others? Okay, I thought more of them would still be hanging around. Shot while I'm standing up here. You suffered a mortal blow. Each time you are struck down, you will forget a small part of your abilities and drop your belongings at the site of the accident. If you wish you were home by now, I'd recommend building a bed, wherever home may be. Later! Alright, well, that's easy. Doesn't look like they wrecked too much either, so that's good. We're just going to put our stuff in here, so that when I pick things up, I actually have room to pick things up. I am of a mind I should get maybe the healing beads sorted at some point. Because the raids are certainly coming for me. Oh, corpse run. Now, 30 pounds? Then let's chuck some of that. There's a non-zero chance I might have found our swamp critters. Or at the very least, that one. We're gonna head back to Second Lamp. Turn it to day, and then we'll keep on with our work. Figure I'll get about an hour in here and see where we're at. Even just getting kind of the reason that I'm laying this out, by the way, is so that I can keep a consistent height and shape as I raise the dirt. The core wood itself is probably not going to stay there in the final iterations of this building. Do we have any more that I can get? Yes, we do. Yes, we do indeed. Leave some of that there, and we'll bring another full stack. That should be plenty to get what we need done. And then once this is sorted, we also have a very clear idea of what trees we need to cut down, what rocks we need to break, and that will give us more resources to use. The rocks are admittedly a little bit more exciting at this moment than the wood. other side. Again, I don't think these will be staying into the final iteration, but I do think that having them lined up for getting the height of the wall even will make building a lot easier once it's actually made. Oh, and I think raising the wall is really going to be like the first task of this place, because once I do that, it will theoretically be this place, frankly, might be so big that once we're inside it, like, the back of the house might not count as being in raids, but, or not house, but the temple. So we will need to be careful during some raids, because we might not be able to progress them if we wander too far out of them. But if we can have walls up, then that is kind of defense that I want. My initial plan is going to be to run it back here and then sort of along the inside here. When we get up here, I haven't fully decided what I want to do. Maybe like a slightly raised gatehouse or something. But we will figure that out shortly. Okay. Okay. Alright. That lines up. That's great. Let's empty out some of the random bits. And then think that the next step will be getting ready for just some of the terraforming. How rock rich are we? Okay, we got... That's not like a titanic amount, but... Alright, and then hopefully as well, if I did this correctly, I can... Might be easiest to like... Let's go just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, so... I believe the orientation of the dirt, like where the smooth sides will form, is based on words. What is it? The directions like northeast, west, and south, if I'm not wrong, but because you can kind of orient yourself any way you want in Valheim, I admit I get turned around pretty easy, so if I'm not paying close attention, I will very easily build in a way that, like, this will never line up whatsoever. Okay, so that's going to be a dip in the terrain. I can't really do much for that. I could lower the whole wall a little bit, but I think I might. We'll see. We'll see. Because we were gonna do some A-frame stuff. God, that's gonna be so big, though. We're not gonna be able to do. Could maybe do the A-frame off the interior. realize though you can't do an A-frame when it's like multiple tiers like that. Well, we could simplify this a whole bunch just by bringing in those side sections. Because then it can be like a large A-frame with just a front section there. It simplifies the shape a little bit, but it also saves a lot of... I think that's the play. That still gives us a pretty wide area to work in, especially now seeing it like cleared. Scared me. Went up and all I saw was like the hand come into my vision and the fucking noise blast into my ear. Pardon, I don't mean to swear quite as much as I do, but it's just kind of a part of my vernacular at this point. 'Tis like seasoning. I don't think that's marked well. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's right. We went back 3 on the back one. Okay. Good math to account for, but I don't know if it's going to be a screaming issue. That tree for some support here as we're getting this all sorted. And we'll just break this down. That saves us a fair bit for the inside too. It's still going to be a very large A-frame to support, but you know, I'm excited to see if we can do it. Some of this wood. I guess with that in mind, what we'll do is we'll just take what stone we can here and we'll just keep raising it up along the way that we were. Obviously this is using a fair bit of stone, but I also would rather over-prepare for this particular area because, again, I don't want raids to destroy my portals. I think I'm allowed to over-engineer a little bit. For the sake of base defense. ascend me. Never mind. Alright, just make another workbench. There we go. That should cover pretty much all of our area needs. Start clearing some of these. Strictly speaking, not inside the barrier anymore, but still cheap and easy stone. Alrighty, let's get back to the top of the wall and keep building. Realize I could have just made this not this tall. I'd have to do a lot more mining in some other places. I don't know. I've already got it this tall. Something sunk cost fallacy. Drop me once. Shame on something. Drop me twice. Damn it, gravity. I don't know. Need more rocks. I know I have those wonderful boxes full of rocks near the front of the building. I know those aren't going to be enough. So I am just using some of this time as a excuse to clear some of these stones I'm going to have to clear anyway. Oh, though, an interesting idea is coming to mind. No, sorry. The Matrix was unfurling before me, and that shit needed to get closed down. I was going to overcomplicate this horribly. I'm still putting some thought into how I want it to look, and the concept of building like a grove inside this kind of shielded stone area kind of arose. And I don't hate the idea. But what I do hate is the thought that my brain wanted it to be round. And I don't mind that for maybe just the building aspect of it, but since I'm trying to raise dirt too, and I went through all the trouble trying to get this nice and lined up, I'd kind of like to see it stay properly oriented. Which in this case, I guess proper orientation is just, you know, keeping the straight lines nice. Go through the gate to rest. We'll do a touch more work here and see if we can't burn through what stone we have, and after that I'll probably call it wherever that is, and probably, well, if I don't have enough stone I'll need to do some resource collecting, but I'll probably make a point to do that in the between times. Got these rocks here to break. I kind of want to do that last though, because I feel like I might manifest some kind of use for them. This is, I realize this is outside the wall. That's fine, we'll get that. Well, that rock was flying through the air to get to me. But we'll get this rock, we'll pick up what's over there. Probably like a quarter of the way done. Full chest of rocks up front. Choice, and that choice is just going to be to do this. it's going to be a problem when we actually get over here, but we'll remove it at that point, because the point of this was to take several points of falling damage to harden up our shins for the harsh winter ahead. There we go. See how far this stone will get us. Exactly out. Nice. Alright, almost able to pick all of that up, which means should at least be able to get to the corner. Some of it compressed over here. No, it did not. That's fine though. I think it might just be what's still out front then. We got a few pieces here. This isn't part of the stone ring itself. There we go. There we go. Slide down a bit. easy way to get up and down. Would be probably at least one more of these, but now at least we don't have to run all the way around the outer wall to get back here. That's 8 meters tall. Tell you what, we're gonna need a lot of lamps for this place. Alright, we'll see how far we can get doing this. Take that tree out for visibility's sake. Yep, I think we're gonna take that tree out so that we can see. We're gonna pretend that I didn't do that. Workbenches will keep it. And we still have plenty of dirt on us. I would be positively tickled if I had enough stone here to do this. Do have a little bit more right here. It's a shame about the boar, but it was a no-star boar that, well, I'm not entirely sure how long it would have survived regardless. It would have been like a nice little lore building moment, but maybe the Mason's Guild is just cursed. Actually, what I should do before we do that, I should come over here and actually break these trees. Right now it's easy to just run in through the open walls instead of having to, like, hop over them. That's alright though, but fine wood back here. Don't need to have like a second random stuff box, but we may end up with one. Hello. Fairly well. I'm not too worried about knocking down that one that's kind of balanced. There's a little bit of cleaning I don't mind doing afterwards, but I just wanted to get some of those logs that were kind of sitting over there in abundance. Alrighty. Guess I could kick off that one and go back if I really want to, but I think we'll just keep going with the side I had going. Leave that there. We'll pull some more from the front, and then we have just 42 kicking in that box for when we don't feel like running as far. And, okay, so we do not have... another full box of stone. But I'm willing to bet get started up that wall. And if we get pretty close, that's a victory in and of itself, too. This is probably still a bit of an overreaction to what happened at First Lamp, but eh. I'm entitled to the occasional overreaction. The occasional overreaction's fine, as long as you're not causing any harm with it. And in fact, I'm actively trying to prevent it. You know, every time I say something like that, there's a small part of me that's like, man, I'm glad my counselor doesn't watch these videos. Because I feel like that's the kind of thing that he'd say in counseling. And there would be notes written, comments made. Nearly night. Now we have a little bit of stone on the far side. So I think we'll grab what we can, we'll sleep, grab what we can, and then we'll use up all the stone we've got, and either it's enough to finish it off or it's not, and if it's not, I'll collect enough in the meantime. Try not to do anything too interesting while I'm collecting resources, or at the very least try not to build anything too interesting. Let's see. So I know, yeah, we have at least a little there. I swear one of these had a little bit of stone in it. I guess not. Yeah, let's get a few things out of our inventory while we can help it, though. And we'll just put the rest out here. Beautiful. Truthfully, I've been playing a little bit longer than I intended to. I was thinking of doing kind of a short ordeal, maybe broken up into two bitlands, but I've just been kind of rolling through. I think it's about an hour and a half at this point. It's going to be a bit of a longer video. I know a few minutes might get shaven off near the beginning just from I had to stand up and fiddle with something on my desk, but I don't think that is going to change the overall timestamp here. Alright, I don't think we have the stone to finish this, but that's okay. We'll do what we can, and we'll improv the rest. By that, I mean I'll do what I was just talking about at length, and collect stone off camera. I need a little side project I've been considering that I'll need a fair bit of bronze for, so there's consideration towards maybe just in the off time going and mining some copper, mining some tin, and you know, just kind of getting some stone via that. It's not a, you know, unending supply, but copper tends to provide a fair bit of stone as you're going. Oh, sorry. I can never tell when I'm hearing things or when it's something actually in-game. Alright, so we got up to there, which, honestly, that's a fair bit done. Like, that's most of this. That's not a lot left. I'm thinking that, because I don't want to raise all of this or do too much to terraform the inside of this. I'm thinking maybe the gatehouse will be a little bit raised, like kind of between those two walls, raise it up a little bit, do something maybe with some stairs, just to do like a pathing break, so nothing like is super eager to run in the front door. But I'll think about it. For now, I'm just happy that this is neatly lined up. The bases of the walls aren't maybe the prettiest, but I don't think I care. It's pretty straight. And that's pretty great. That's aesthetically pleasing to me. Now, I am going to come through with the cultivator. Here's a little last minute tip for you. So here's a last minute tip for me, level out my dirt. Using the cultivator, try to do it from a high place, so that's not the right one. There we go. Use the cultivator on dirt, you can get it to turn back to the stone texture of like some of the, not that, but like some of the general exposed stone in the world. And I probably will run around and do that at least to the walls. So I do think that looks a little nicer, looks a little bit less super worked. For like the semi-natural stone wall look, at least. This, I think I'll need to do it from the outside too, mind you, but you know, this to me reads, you know, nice large stone wall, kind of carved down maybe a little bit. That, you know, that doesn't look bad, but because the texture repeats so freely, to me, it just, I don't know, I just kind of like the rough stone look. Because, like, that's what makes me want to build this open air, in a way. I still need to ponder the design. I still definitely need to ponder the design. I think that these rocks are going to have to go, because they are not lined up in a way that works. I think that what's out here might still be fine as like a lead into the gatehouse, but yeah. Big time overall. Thanks for coming along. It's a pretty peaceful one. I say that this isn't the first time that I've died in this one, so peaceful except for the death, but I think this is going to turn out pretty good. If nothing else, it'll be very safe. And even if it's just like a large open air area that's, you know, walled off and it has a bunch of like small shacks to protect portals, then shit, maybe that's what I should do. Alright, I'll ponder that. But thanks for tuning in. Peace and love, everybody. Be kind to each other out there, and I was trying to think of something else witty to say, but yeah, I think I'll just leave it on. Peace and love, be kind, and good night, everybody. Oh, hydration check. Drink some water if you haven't. Okay, now good night.